Mid-America Water, I have $7,408.62. Michael Applegate, $3,300. Mulder's Collision Center, $10,011.03. STP Transport, $5,800. Timothy J. Hicks, CPA, $7,875. And then I have Western Central Municipal Conference, $10,164.26. That's the total expenditures over $2,500 is $380,000, $380,287.83, for a total of expenditures of $422,076.36, for a total of 90%. These funds that they came out of general fund, $120,071.87. Garbage fund, $43,741.86. Motor fuel tax fund, $98,263.52. Roosevelt Road tip fund, we've got $89,227. Capital Projects Fund, $243.50. The last one being Water and Sewage Fund, is $70,528.61, for a grand total of $422,076.36. That concludes the report for Thursday, September 16th.
Thank you. Trustee Abraham?
No questions.
Trustee Senior?
No questions.
Trustee Chalmalave?
No questions.
Trustee Tierney?
No questions.
Trustee Armour?
No questions.
Trustee Miller?
No questions.
Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, we can. Madam President, this is the roll call for the approval of the bills for 9/16/2021. Trustee Tierney,
Yes.
Trustee Abraham,
Yes.
Trustee Senior,
Yes.
Trustee Armour,
Yes.
Trustee Chalmalave,
Yes.
Trustee Miller,
Yes.
and this carries 6-0 to pass those bills. Next, we'll have the approval or consideration for the bills from the August 26, 2021 meeting. Now, these bills were already approved. They are now being ratified at this meeting because we now have, for the summer months, we do one meeting per month. So this total is $644,415.01. Need a motion.
Motion to approve. Second.
Been properly motioned by Trustee Armour, seconded by Trustee Senior. Madam President.
Thank you. Trustee Tierney, Chairman of the Finance Committee, will you please read that warrant list?
Yes, I will. AT&T, $12,439.33. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois, $137,009.40. Broadview Westchester Joint Water Agency, $288,160.29. ComEd, $4,025.51. Delgado Law Group LLC, $26,217.26. Eco Clean Maintenance Incorporated, $2,504. Geno's Heating and Plumbing Inc., $12,200. Groot Inc., $48,768.57. H&H Electric Company, $3,191.85. Lincoln National Life Insurance, $7,043.91. Petroleum Technologies Inc., $4,226.25. Rolando Lazo, $3,349.75. Securities, Electronic Security Inc., $9,782.04. Train Us Inc., $32,343.50. And then Trike Development is $4,320,000. And then West Cook County Solid Waste Agency, $12,778.19. For a total of over $2,500, comes out to $608,359.85. Total expenditures are $644,415.01. That's the total, 94%. We also had electric payment vendor from Chase Credit Card for a total of $4,976.06. Those funds that the money came out of, general fund, $273,505.21. Garbage fund, $61,546.76. Capital projects fund, $1,755. Water and sewage fund, $307,608.04, for a grand total of $644,415.01, for a grand total of $644,415.01. That concludes my report, Madam.
Thank you. Thank you, trustee Tierney. Trustee Abraham?
No questions.
Trustee Senior?
No questions.
Trustee Chalmalave? Trustee Tierney?
No comment.
Trustee Armor?
No questions.
Trustee Miller?
No questions.
Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call?
Yes, we can, Madam President. Trustee Tierney,
Yes.
trustee Abraham,
Yes.
trustee Senior,
Yes.
trustee Armor,
Yes.
trustee Chalmalave,
Yes.
trustee Miller.
Yes.
This carries 6-0. Thank you. Next is item 6, old business. We have none. Bringing us to item 7, new business. Item A, swearing in of Derek Blair as a firefighter paramedic.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by trustee Tierney, seconded by trustee Senior. Madam President?
Trustee Abraham?
No questions.
Trustee Senior?
No questions.
Trustee Chalmalave? Trustee Tierney?
No questions.
Trustee Armor?
No questions.
Trustee Miller?
Welcome to the group.
Congratulations.
If we can have Officer Derek Blair join me up front for the official swearing in.
I, Derek Blair,
Having been appointed to the office of firefighter paramedic
having been appointed to the office of fire paramedic
in the village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois. One more time. In the village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois. Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the Broadview Fire Department
of the Broadview Fire Department
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations, sir.
Did he do a flip?
He's out. A little bit.
And I'd like to mention that both are military, Army.
Oh.
Thank you for serving. I think she's going down.
Okay, thank you. We're going to move right on to item B. A motion to authorize the Board of Fire and Police Commissioners to engage in eligibility testing for firefighters.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I heard trustee Miller make the motion and trustee Chamalave make the second. Was that correct?
Yep.
All right, thank you, Madam President.
Chief Kenny, you want to tell us the reason why we need an eligibility list?
Oh, I'm awfully loud. For our eligibility list, we usually have one every 2 years. We're actually doing about 6 months earlier. We have a tremendous shortage of paramedics, not just in our state, but overall in our country. So, we do have to have another test to fill a vacancy that we have right now in future vacancies. So again, this is about 6 months earlier than, and it may, if we approve this tonight, I'm trying to work with other communities to see if we can do a collaborative one. So we actually reduce the cost of it and bring a bigger pool of people. So we're working on it, so we need a little time.
Thank you, Chief. Trustee Abraham?
No question.
Trustee Senior?
No question.
Trustee Chamalave?
No.
Trustee Tierney?
No questions.
Trustee Armor?
No question.
Trustee Miller?
What stage are we at now on the list? How many more candidates do we have that can move?
We have
For-
nobody's left on our list.
Zero.
We've exhausted it, yes. We have three people left on it, but when we created this test, if you were in paramedic school, you could take our test, if you had passed paramedic school, and the 3 people, somewhere on the list, I don't know where they're at exactly, but we revisited and they're not eligible.
Okay, because I'm like, I knew we had a recent list that stated it still had eligibility candidates on it, but if they don't qualify, then
No,
okay.
they're not a paramedic, we require that.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Trustee Miller. Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, we can, Madam President. Trustee Tierney,
Yes.
trustee Abraham,
Yes.
trustee Senior,
Yes.
trustee Armor,
Yes.
trustee Chamalave,
Yes.
trustee Miller,
Yes.
and this carries 6-0. Thank you. Next, item C, a resolution authorizing and approving an agreement between the Village of Broadview and Loyola University Medical Center regarding the provision of fire and emergency response services by the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by trustee Miller, seconded by trustee Abraham. Madam President.
Thank you, Chief Kenny. You want to tell us about this one?
Sure. So C and D are going to be similar in nature. I know that the lawyers will agree with me that we have made some changes, which are very important, was actually raised rates that are going to help us in all the rates across the board between Hines and Loyola are all going to do the same for EMS response, which is very important with some of the changes we've done over the course of the past couple of years. Also very important is we combine EMS and fire into one contract. Otherwise, you would have seen us doing about 4 separate contracts. 2 contracts is now that we'll have all of them within the same ranges. Also very important, as the mayor's always requested, we have these contracts with different term limits. That way, these will expire just shortly before, for the next election that's coming up. So we've been very organized about this, worked very well with Loyola and Madden on these. I believe I've answered everyone's questions, and thank you for calling me so I can explain it better so you can understand it. This will just, and they're progressive over the next couple of years, and then when it's time to renew, it's all again at the same time instead of chaos over a couple of years. I appreciate all the help.
Thank you, Chief. Trustee Abraham?
No questions.
Trustee Senior?
No questions.
Trustee Chamalave? Trustee Tierney?
No questions.
Trustee Armor?
I got all my questions answered. No questions.
Thank you, Trustee Miller.
No questions.
Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, we can, Madam President. Trustee Tierney,
Yes.
trustee Abraham,
Yes.
trustee Senior,
Yes.
trustee Armor,
Yes.
trustee Chamalave,
Yes.
trustee Miller.
Yes.
Thank you all. This carries 6-0. Next item, D, a resolution authorizing and approving an agreement between the Village of Broadview and John J. Madden Mental Health Center regarding the provision of emergency fire protection and ambulance services by the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Can you all please speak up into your mic so I can hear who made the motion?
Motion to approve.
Thank you very much. It's been properly motioned by trustee Armor, seconded by trustee Abraham. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Chief Kenny. You want to tell us about that?
Similar to the other one, the only difference is that, we did not have a contract with them for several years, where we used on each call we went on for fire, because the state of Illinois did withheld some, mental health funding, so we worked with them over the past couple of years. We are now on a month-to-month basis again, which works out very well for us. They
Thank you, Chief. Trustee Abraham?
No questions.
Trustee Senior?
No questions.
Trustee Chalmalave?
No.
Trustee Tierney?
No questions.
Trustee Armor?
Oh, I thought their contract was so well put together, Matton's contract. It was better than all the ones in your bunch. So, no questions, just a comment.
Thank you. Trustee Miller?
No questions.
Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, we can, Madam President. And just for the record, the trustee that made the motion for this was trustee Armor, and it was seconded by trustee Abraham. Here's our roll call. Trustee
Incorrect.
Tierney?
No, that's the reverse.
Pardon me?
It's the reverse. Trustee Miller called for the motion.
And I second it.
And I said it quite loudly.
I can't hear you guys.
You probably can't with masks on. That's been my concern.
So one more time.
The clerk haven't been feeling well today, so I don't know if.
I am kind of down, but it's hard to hear when you're not talking into the mic, so. Okay, so for the record, we're going to make the correction. Trustee Miller made the motion, and trustee Armor made the second.
Correct.
Now, Madam President, we should do a roll call.
Yes.
Trustee Tierney?
Yes.
Trustee Abraham?
Yes.
Trustee Senior?
Yes.
Trustee Armor?
Yes.
Trustee Chalmalave?
Yes.
Trustee Miller?
Yes.
And this carries 6-0. Thank you. Next, item E, a resolution authorizing and approving the Second Amendment to a certain lease agreement between the Village of Broadview and New Singular Wireless PCS LLC for the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois.
Motion to approve. Second.
It's been properly motioned by trustee Senior, seconded by trustee Abraham. Madam President?
Thank you. Attorney Jerusik or Director Ames, you want to tell us about this agreement with the cellular?
Yes, thank you, Board. So these next two items, items E and F, we're asking you to consider, or you're being asked to consider whether to amend an existing agreement with AT&T that was entered into back in 2011. Actually, the original agreement was done in 2003. Then a new agreement was entered into in 2011. And that is a long-term lease. It is a 5-year agreement that has automatic renewals of every 5 years. So right now, we're kind of in the middle of that renewal period. And the reason that that's important is because that actually comes in both for items E and F. So if it's okay with the mayor, Mayor, would you like me to explain both items? Because they're related. Okay, so item E, this deals again with the existing lease, and this is for the lease of the water tower. This is for them to put cellular equipment on the water tower. And again, you guys have been in this lease for quite a while. Well, about a couple years ago, we started looking at these leases, and you guys weren't getting the money that you should have been getting under the leases. So we negotiated an amendment a few years back to get you guys more money for the items that had already been placed on the water tower that had not been compensated for. And then we went even further when they asked if they could install a generator. We said, okay, well, you need to give us a price. So we negotiated an additional $200 a month on the rent to then increase the overall rent that you guys were getting for the cell site for them to be able to place this generator on there. In addition to that, and this is where the next item kind of comes in, during all of this, we also got a letter from AT&T informing us that they were potentially going to look at different cell sites if they weren't able to either reduce their rents or come to a long-term lease agreement. They've done this in many communities. This is part of the process. So we discussed it with them. We discussed it with their agents. And ultimately, we were able to negotiate with the additional $200 on the rent of basically $461,000 and change for a lump sum 30-year easement for the village. So rather than collecting the monthly rents, you would be getting the $461,000 lump sum for the 30-year easement. And we reviewed that both with the finance department as well as other village personnel, and it is our recommendation that the village approve both of these items. And I'd be happy to answer any questions that the village may have.
Thank you. Trustee Abraham?
No questions.
Trustee Senior?
No questions.
Trustee Chalmalave? No. Trustee Tierney?
No questions.
Trustee Armor?
So, AT&T is going to be returning $461 and $930 for the auto renew contract.
So basically,
This
the,
is
the,
in one lump sum, and the payment includes the $200 on the auto renewables contract. Am I understanding? you
yeah,
correctly?
somewhat. So the four, you're correct. They're not going to be paying us the monthly rents anymore. It's going to be a one lump sum. So it's now money instead of then money is a good way to put it. And with the additional $200 a month on the rent for the generator, that increased the price almost $30,000, 29,000 and change, just with that additional $200 a month for the generator. And it could, it's, I think it's a fair deal for the village. I think it's a good deal for the village, to be quite honest. And we negotiated pretty hard to get where we're at.
Well, we definitely can use the revenue, that money, so.
Yes, and now money is usually good money.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's it, trustee Allen? Yes. Thank you, trustee Miller.
So I'm having a hard time seeing the difference with this second amendment versus the amendment we did in June of 2020.
The amendment in June of 2020 was to capture equipment that was already on the site that we had not been collecting rents on because nobody knew the equipment was on the site. We basically did an audit of what they had on the site and determined that they had all this additional equipment. So that was why, at that time, we had negotiated an increased price for the lease because you guys weren't getting what you were supposed to get. So we negotiated that, and then shortly thereafter, they came to us with the idea of the generator. And so we asked for an additional $200 a month, and they said, okay.
Okay, so is this a third amendment versus a second amendment? Because this is coded the same, exact same way that it was last year for us to revisit, and I'm looking at it, it was on our June 1st meeting of 2020.
I went through it. I'm sorry, what date are you talking about? June?
Yeah, I mean, not that I'm being a stickler for us not getting money, I just don't want to keep revisiting the same contracts every year.
Well, that's kind of the point of the long-term lease, which is the
I
next
get it, but
item.
we said that same thing the last time too, and here we are again, a year later, having a discussion where the generator was added, but
Well,
I'll hold you to it, it's on record.
Okay. Well, I hope you're happy that I'm getting you more money, though.
Yeah, and that's the part, I don't have
Alright.
I don't have an issue with it, I'm just like, okay, that was the second amendment, and now here we are again, and it's the third amendment. We could talk about it later.
Yeah, if there
Because it's
needs to
on
be
me,
a
I didn't read
scrivener's
this,
correction,
till
if there
today.
is an error in that, I thought I had gone through it and double checked to make sure that we were on the appropriate amendment number. But you're right, it does get a little confusing when there's all these different amendments. So if there is an error, we can certainly work to correct that. That would be no big deal. But either way, the parties are agreeing to the agreement, to the verbiage of the agreement. So whether it's a second or a third, the parties would still be bound by it.
And that's only because we're adding additional income, right? I mean, I know that agreements shouldn't be revisited multiple times if you have a 5-year lease agreement. You don't come
Well-
back or, things of that nature.
Not usually, but every once in a while, you do need to revisit things because different circumstances come up, the laws change, or, something happens, like, say, God forbid, the water tower fell. Then all of a sudden, we don't have, we don't have a place for them to put their equipment. So we might need to revisit it that way. I mean, the water tower is not going to fall. I'm talking obviously the worst case scenario. But there's different circumstances that may come into play where leases do need to be amended. We try to keep those to a minimum. We try to anticipate all that stuff when we draft these. These were drafted in 2011, which predates all of us. So, we're just trying to correct the situation.
Got you. I'll forward you the one I have. Thanks.
That's it, trustee Miller?
Yep.
Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, we can, Madam President. Trustee Tierney,
Yes.
trustee Abraham,
Yes.
trustee Senior, trustee Armour,
Yes.
trustee Chalmalabi,
Yes.
trustee Miller,
Abstain.
and this carries 6-0 with one abstention. Thank you. Next is item F, a resolution authorizing and approving an option agreement lease easement purchase between the Village of Broadview and Landmark Dividend LLC related to the water tower located at 2350 South 25th Avenue, Broadview, Illinois, for the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois.
Motion to approve. Second.
Been properly motioned by trustee Senior, seconded by trustee Abraham. Thank you. Madam President?
Thank you. Attorney Garusi, you want to go through this one?
Well, just again, this one deals, it's related to the prior item in that it helped increase the rent to the 460, I'm sorry, the annual, the total easement amount to the 461, the 461,000. So this is, again, this is an option for them. This is an option for AT&T. So right now, AT&T is going to be looking at this and saying, they're going to do their title search and everything and make sure everything is clean. And provided everything is clean, then they're going to likely exercise their option to purchase the easement for the 30-year easement for the $461,000. If they don't purchase the easement, then we will be back to the contract, but that's only if they don't purchase the easement, which for all intents and purposes, we've been working on this for a while. I don't see that happening. So.
Thank you. Trustee Abraham?
No questions.
Trustee Senior?
No questions.
Trustee Chalmalave?
No questions.
Trustee Tierney?
No questions.
Trustee Armor?
So this is the new contract.
Well, this is the option for them to purchase the easement. So once they purchase the easement, we would negotiate the actual easement agreement. And so the easement agreement will come before you, but the easement agreement is a 30-year agreement that is granting them an easement. It's granting them a right of use to use that
That's why I
for,
didn't see that today, right?
no, I'm sorry, what do you
Because
mean?
we have to adopt this and then we'll see the agreement.
Correct. So the easement agreement will come before you guys after they have exercised their option, presuming that they, of course, exercise their option.
Okay. No, that's it.
Okay, thank you, Trustee Armor. Trustee Miller?
No questions?
Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, we can, Madam President. Trustee Tierney,
Yes.
trustee Abraham,
Yes.
trustee Senior,
Yes.
trustee Armor,
Yes.
trustee Chalmalave,
Yes.
trustee Miller,
Yes.
and this carries 6-0. Thank you all. Next, we have item G, consideration of an application for a business license requested by Gregory Alonzo of Speakeasy Automotive LLC,
Mr.
doing
Clerk, I would
business.
like to, for the trustee to call a motion to do a consent agenda for items G through M.
Yes, Madam President.
I'll make that motion,
I would
Madam
like to
Mayor.
make a motion to do a consent agenda from G through L.
Through M.
Oh,
M.
sorry, M. Sorry.
Second,
Okay,
I said that. I said it.
so again, the motion was made by trustee Senior and seconded by trustee Armor for a consent agenda to approve items G through M as in Mary. That is correct, right, Mayor?
Yes.
Yes.
L.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll read in the record each of the items quickly, and then we'll do a roll call. Is that correct, Madam President?
Yes.
All right. Item G, consideration of an application for a business license requested by Gregory Alonzo of Speakeasy Automotive LLC, doing business as Speakeasy Custom Classics located at 2050 Parks Drive, Broadview, Illinois, to operate in the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois. Item H, consideration of an application for a business license requested by Michelle Cantave of Moving Through Life Therapy Solutions, PLLC, located at 2016 South 24th Avenue, to operate in the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois. Item I, consideration of an application for a business license requested by Giovanni Franchisi of Super G, located at 2000 South 25th Avenue, Unit number 114, to operate in the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois. Item J, consideration of an application for a business license requested by the Nicola Ristic of R1 Truck Repair, Inc., located at 2717 South 13th Avenue, to operate in the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois. Item K, consideration of an application for a business license requested by David Marshall and Barbara Marshall of Secure Tool and Fastener Company, located at 2315 South Gardner Road, Suite B, to operate in the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois. Item L, consideration of an application for a business license requested by Nicola Ratlovic of Yankee Freight Systems LLC, located at 2717 South 13th Avenue, to operate in the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois. Lastly, item M as in Mary, consideration of an application for a business license requested by Robert Garza of Respectable Modern Collectible, located at 2030 Parks Drive to operate in the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois. So the original motion was made by
Those made by-
Trustee Senior.
Trustee Senior,
And
seconded by Trustee Armor.
Right.
Madam President, shall we have a roll call?
Yes.
Or did you want to have any discussion?
Trustee Abraham, any questions, comments?
No questions.
Trustee Senior,
No question.
trustee Chalmalave?
I just want to know, is J and L, are they
Couldn't hear you.
for
Can you speak
items,
into your mic, please,
I'm
trustee?
for items J and L, are they related?
Are they what?
Oh, yeah.
No, they're not.
Mhm.
They could have the same, it may be a building where they operate in the same building, same address, two different businesses.
That was my question.
Okay. Trustee Armor?
Actually,
Thank you.
oh,
Trustee Armor?
actually, I thought J and L were
Commissioner Upshaw, can you tell us
the
about this?
same owners. Just two separate, like, businesses.
That is correct.
Got it.
Same owner,
Two separate businesses in the same building, that's what I said.
Yankee Freight is a trucking company, and then, the truck repair is to repair the trucks.
As stated, two different companies in the same building.
Correct.
Thank you. Trustee Armor?
No questions, no
Thank
comments.
you. Trustee Tierney?
I was just wondering if anybody was there in the audience, but I can't see them, if they wanted to talk about their businesses.
No, no one's here for the businesses,
Okay.
trustee.
Nothing else.
Yes, it
Okay.
is. It's
Trustee
somebody,
Miller?
somebody's in the back for the business.
Oh, I couldn't even see. Did you want to say anything, sir?
Man, I don't say anything unless I have to, but,
Well, welcome to Broadview.
I'm a little shy, you know, but
Oh, we can't tell.
I'm Robert Garza, I'm a respectable non-collectible LLC. I'm the last one on the.
So you, yeah.
And I told Mr. Upshaw, he said if I came, that, you know, maybe they might want to ask me questions instead of him, so.
Okay.
So I feel it.
Well, welcome to Broadview and thank you for coming to the
Well,
meeting.
I love your city so far. I'm hoping to, be part of the diversity here
You are a part of the diversity.
in the working class, so.
We love it.
I'm pumped.
Welcome to Broadview.
Yes, welcome.
Thank you. Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Okay, this is a roll call on all items, G through M.
And I'm sorry, just to be clear, is this a roll call to establish the consent agenda and then you're going to vote again? Or are you going to, is it a motion
We
to?
made a motion to do a consent agenda.
Okay, okay, so just so the record is clear, this motion is to establish and approve the items, correct?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
Madam
all in one
President.
motion. I
Madam
just want to
Attorney.
make that clear for the record.
That's
Okay, thank you.
All right, roll call. Trustee Tierney.
Hello.
Trustee Tierney.
We voted on items,
Yeah,
okay.
G through,
M.
F. Yes.
Thank you. Trustee Abraham.
Yes.
Trustee Senior.
Yes.
Trustee Armor.
Yes.
Trustee Chamalave.
Yes.
Trustee Miller.
Yes, and I didn't have any questions. 'Cause y'all so skipped me.
All right, this carries 6-0. Thank you. Okay. Next is item 8, application for the authority to expend funds. We have none. Bringing us to item 9, closed session. Do we have a closed session?
We don't
today?
have any.
Okay, we have no closed session today. Item 10, village clerk. I'm just going to be real brief. It was a pleasure. I'm honored that Mayor Thompson asked me to step forward and assist the seniors with the 2020 tax bills. There were quite a few people with sticker shock, as Mayor Thompson may have mentioned before, and we had quite a few people come in with questions about their tax bill. I was able to review the bills with them, give them a little education, point them in the right direction with regards to where their local assessor's office is, and complete applications for some of the exemptions that were missing off of their bills. One success story I can speak of in our last committee meeting for the Finance Committee, we had one of the residents that I assisted just a week prior show up and was able to save over $2,900 on his bill, which was amazing. It was Great that he was able to save as much, and also great that the turnaround time, which they processed the paperwork, was that fast and that quick. So the process does work. It is a process. If you are out there and have any questions about your tax bill, I can contact the local assessor's office or give you that information, or we can help you answer any questions here in the village of Broadview that we can. That being said, Madam President, um, we helped 15 total people, total families
Nice.
achieve exemptions that they were not able to take advantage of prior, and I'm happy to help.
Thank
So
you for helping.
that concludes my report. Next is item 11, Village President, Mayor Katrina Thompson.
Thank you. So first, I want to say good evening to Broadview. It's been a whole month since the last time we met. So just so you all know, we'll be back on track with our regular board meetings on the first and third Monday of every month at 7:30. So in October, we'll be back to a regular schedule. So thank you guys for allowing us to have a summer break because we like to have fun too. Um, I do want to address the public comment from Ms. Bailey. So I hear your concern. That business license have not came before me nor the board. So I don't know that is true. So once we get the information, we'll be able to dictate more information. I don't know what the business opportunity is presented. So right now, we don't know what it is. Okay? So it'll come, if they haven't applied for a business license yet. So that's why I don't have an answer for you. Okay, and so I don't know the structure of the business, the type of business that's allocated. So before we accuse or assume that it's something that's out of line, I'd like to have the facts first. And that has not come before me nor the board. Okay, so thank you for coming and bringing it to our attention now that it's on our radar. Okay, so thank you. I do want to say that a lot has happened over the past month, so I'm going to do my best to try to be as brief but as detailed as possible in my report. So more people are getting vaccinated in Broadview, so I'm happy about that. 63% with at least one dose and 50% with the complete vaccine series. So I'm still promoting to encourage everyone to be vaccinated. I know that it's a personal choice, but it's a choice that to keep all of us safe and healthy. That's why we're all still wearing masks, and many of us are vaccinated. This is a building that whether you vaccinated or unvaccinated is required to wear a face mask in the village hall. So we just encourage you to do that. If you decide that you would like to go get vaccinated, you can go to either Walgreens at Cermak or the one on 17th to be vaccinated, or at CVS inside of the Target store. They are doing vaccinations. Last week, Trustee Tierney hosted a finance committee meeting, and we had our assessor here, Fritz Kagi, educating us on the assessing process. So it's different tiers of level to our property taxes, and it's complicated. And so, like I shared with them, I'm going to share with you all that we don't want to point fingers. We want to get to solutions. And as a municipality, we want to work with those of B as it relates to property taxes, whether it's our state officials that are our House representative, our speaker, or the majority leaders, Lyford, or county officials, our board of commissioners, or our board of review, or the assessor's office. So it's many moving pieces to the property tax. And so the first course of action was to get to a solution to help seniors. And so we know a lot of the seniors exemptions did not take place, and we wanted to make sure that we can protect their entity because they are on the fixed income. And we want to make sure that we protect their investment that they work all of their lives for and so hard for to come, and then, they go to a tax sale. We would not want that to happen to any senior within the village of Broadview. So they came out, they explained the excess values of what those evaluations mean to the village of Broadview as it relates to residential, industrial, and commercial. I did have a conversation with Maria Pappas, our Cook County treasurer, and I invited her to come to a meeting. So we're looking to host her here to talk about what her office does as it relates to property taxes. I spoke with our Board of Review Commissioner, Larry Rogers Jr. His office will be here to talk about the appeal process and what that looked like and how we can do appeals for our own properties in Broadview. I did ask him questions on, some of the stuff that came up in the last discussion was how the assessor would certify the taxes, and then the businesses can go and appeal it, and they're getting these great cuts, and then it falls back on the residents. And so I did invite him to come to have that discussion with us because to me, from me on the outside looking in, that seems problematic. And so what he had explained to me was that because of the state statute, And I always go back and I shared this with the clerk. It always started at the state level on the statute of property taxes. And it's so complicated that the average person wouldn't really understand it. So we have to get a better understanding in what that looked like. So if he's obligated by a state statute, guess what's going to happen? The property is going to still get appealed, and we're going to have these great taxes. I mean, big taxes cuts for the largest ones that should be paying the most taxes. It's also going to fall back on the residents. So we are following this situation. We are looking for some answers, and we just want some solutions. We want to work with everyone. We don't want to point fingers, but at the same time, I want to protect the investments that we all have in our own village. I'm a homeowner too, so it's important to me. So once that date is established, we will put the information out so that the community can take advantage of whether they want to be in person, but we will stream that because I think it's important enough for people to be able to watch the conversation take place. If you missed the last finance committee meeting, I would encourage you to go to the YouTube, search Village of Broadview so that you can see what the last finance committee meeting was about. And it talked about the property taxes. And we also have presentations for pension debt management because we have a large pension bill. So we're trying to, figure out how we can get to a point where our unfunded pension to where we can start seeing the light. And so the conversation is ongoing, but it's a conversation that we have to have, and it's a hard and it's a complicated conversation, and it's a decision that this board is going to have to make. We're going to have to face that entity sooner than later. So we are starting to invest our time to bring the resources here so that we can investigate and make a solid decision on what's best for this Village of Broadview. So I do have some good news, and I'm excited about this news, and everybody's going to be excited about this news. So the Village of Broadview Fire Department is a recipient of the Homeland Security. The total grant was $555,527. I'm grateful for Chief William Bram of Franklin Park. He was the lead on this. And when we talk about partnerships and collaborations, the Village of Broadview, we jumped on partnerships and collaborations. We don't have to do everything ourselves. When we work together as unit with other municipalities, other departments like fire and police, you get great outcomes. He took the lead on this, and it was 4 fire entities that is a part of this entity. So it's the Light and Fire Protection District, the Village of Bellwood, the Village of Franklin Park, and of course, the Village of Broadview. We will get $134,065 out of this, and this is for air packs for the fire department. So, I mean, that's huge for us because we have to budget that, and that will come out our general fund. So when you talk about $130,000, I mean, that could go towards the roof that need to be replaced in the fire department so that they're able to do more. So when we have these partnerships and collaborations and we have our department head meetings, these are the types of relationships that we talk about on how can we do more with the money that we have. And we don't get a whole bunch of money. We don't. When you look at your tax bill, most of our money goes to the school. And I'm just going to be honest. I feel like it's taxation without representation. I have no kids in the school system, but I can't get my street fixed. And so we have to look at how we can do more. So I want to commend Chief Kenny for, the relationships that she have in building collaboration between the fire entity. I mean, that's huge for us. So thank you, Chief. Then more money. The American Recovery Act. The village is allocated to get $1,035,622.99. So we'll get that in two installment payments, and we're going to be very transparent on what that money is going to look like. We kind of talked about it in the finance committee meeting. So if you want to go to YouTube and view that conversation, I would encourage you to go look at that video to see how we intend to do it. But it's going to be a discussion with the department heads, and most certainly we'll bring it back before the board on how we streamline this and put this in our budget to utilize those funds. Then Public Act 102-007, Section 1823, the Village of Broadview will receive $2.5 million for capital improvements to village property. In Section 2155, the Village of Broadview would get $2.8 million for village-wide alleys. In Section In section 8245, we will get 250,000 for the fire department roof. And in section 5930, we'll get another $450,000 for the fire department roof. So we can get some things done. So when in my first term, we had put a capital improvement plan together. And strategically, we've been working that plan from day one. And now we're starting to see the fruits of our labor. When we first submitted that plan to Speaker Welch and to Senator Lightford, the capital bill was a little bit over $30 million. So we're starting to see the trickle down. So we're crossing out things as we go through this process. So things are looking up for us. So on behalf of the Village of Broadview, I would like to thank our speaker and our majority leader, Senator Lightford, for allocating and making sure that Broadview can do more with funds that's coming to the Village of Broadview. Last week, Administrator Jones hosted a village-wide training for employees. The topics were conflict resolution and leadership. So I want to thank Administrator Jones for hosting that. I mean, that's a big deal for us because what I'm told for employees that's been with the village a number of years, that had never happened, where we had employees at the subordinate level come into a room and we had a professional trainer come in to train them. And then the second part of the training, we had all of the department heads get trained on leadership. It didn't matter what department they worked in. Leadership, when you get into specific departments, it changes, but the leadership doesn't change. And we have to make sure that we create leaders in the Village of Broadview that serve us. And so that was huge. So I commend her for bringing that to our attention and making sure that and I've heard a lot of good things from employees and from the department heads on the training that took place. So thank you, Ms. Jones. And finally, it's been a long 4 or 5 months for me and Ms. Jones in the search of the next chief of police for Broadview. So I want to first say I appreciate the community partners that played a role in the process. Trustee Miller was on the committee. We had Andrew Rouse, a community member, was on the committee. We had the Fire and Police Commissioner, Anjanita Harper, she was on the committee, and we had Jareen Gordy was on the committee as well with Ms. Jones, and we hired a consultant to help us with the streamlining the process. And from my lenses, I was looking for the next chief that could be internal and external. And so when we hosted our community meeting for the residents to give us some input as we go through this process, what kept coming up was community police and community engaged. They wanted to see more of the police chief. So that was on my radar when we went through this process. So I'm happy to say that the person that's being selected is someone that knows internal, that can run operations, because it's an operation that most certainly I'm not the expert in. And then we need someone external on the community side and the engagement piece to keep us together. We do a really good job with community policing in the Village of Broadview. We have a really good police department, and we need a strong leader that can just take them to the next level. And so I'm proud to announce and happy to announce our next chief will be Thomas Mills. He's currently a deputy chief in the City of Chicago Police Department Bureau of the Counterterrorism Criminal Network Group. In this capacity, he will bring to Broadview Police Department leadership, strategic, investigative skills, and a forward-thinking capacity to contribute to public safety and building the trust and communication between residents and stakeholders of the Village of Broadview. He brings 30 years of experience to the Village of Broadview, and I will be asking the Board of Trustees for the appointment at the October 18th board meeting, and will host a community and a greet following the appointment. So I'm excited for him. I'm excited for the police, the men and women that work in the police department. Each trustee will have an opportunity to meet with him one-on-one. So I'm just still looking for schedules. I got some schedules from a couple of the trustees. So I just need to schedule so that we can put that together, and then he will come and meet with the department heads. He met a couple of the leaders over in the police department today when he was in the village, but I'm excited about this selection. I'm also excited that he is the first African-American Japanese that will serve at that level of leadership in the Village of Broadview. And so at this time, I will call for a motion to adjourn.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by Trustee Senior, seconded by Trustee Abraham to adjourn the meeting. I'll call for the roll. Trustee Tierney,
Yes.
trustee Abraham,
Yes.
trustee Senior,
Yes.
trustee Armour,
Yes.
trustee Chamalave,
Yes.
trustee Miller.
Yes.
This motion is hereby adjourned at 8:39 PM. Thank you all. Have a great evening.
Thank you. Thank you, Chuck.